Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Fantom. Had again a few requests, or quite a lot of requests actually, about a Fantom update. And yeah, really not too much has changed since my last video. But nevertheless, let's take an updated look at Fantom. Last video, my view was we were, I think, at $1.08. My view was that we are still going to come down lower in line with my expectation for other cryptocurrencies. Yeah. And that would be a drop below $1 pretty much, or $1.05 I think is the main support that we are seeing here. But before zooming in, maybe let's take a look at the bigger picture. My view is that we had this first impulse here to the back then all-time high. Well, it was the all-time high here around 370. Then we came down in a wave A, moved up in a wave B, and we're coming down in a wave C. Now with that wave C, we have only really reached the low of the 4th of December. So around about $1.05. What exactly was the level? It was no, it doesn't show here properly for some reason. I don't know if it doesn't show it, but no, it was around $1 and oh no, it was not. One second. Let me just make that a bit larger. Was it really only $1.14? Okay, so yeah, $1.14. So that means that here we already made a lower low at $1.03. Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, we made a lower low already. So we did come down lower to nearly the $1 level. And here very recently, that was on the 18th of April, we came down to $1.05. And since then, the price has not really started to show any significant improvement or movement. And as I said, as long as we still are here in a downtrend, in which, in my opinion, we still are, because if you zoom out, we haven't really made a higher high. So yeah, we are still technically in a downtrend. So yeah, you made your high of the wave B here. We're coming down, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, even though it seems to getting the downtrend is slowing down, because so far now we haven't made a lower low, but we haven't made a higher high. So you need to make that higher high to really break the downtrend. Even here, if I zoom in, you see a slightly lower high again here. And so far my expectation has to be that we're coming down once more lower. Finally, after weeks and weeks and weeks, we reached here my target area on the, when did we touch it? On the 11th of March, I think. So we've been talking about this target area since we've made here nearly a new all-time high, yeah? And this square here in blue was a take profit area that we talked about back then. And I think it was spot on. That is why I like to take profits in the larger swings, yeah, not try to trade every small wave. Maybe in the future at some point, but it is very time consuming, very stressful as well. And then I had a few comments about people who took leverage, and I think there was someone who's got the liquidation point at 90 cents. And I can only say, if you really do leverage, you have to take a stop loss. I mean, you have to use a stop loss. Without stop loss, using leverage is not working out. It just is too risky for that, especially in the current environment where there's a lot of volatility. Markets are very insecure. You have to use a stop loss, and then I would personally not risk more than 3 to 5% maximum of my available budget. So the stop loss needs to be tight, because if the uptrend isn't working out, then at least you don't lose a lot of your money. Yeah, and unfortunately that's all I can say. I mean, my expectation is that we come down once more to 87 cents. That is the 78.6% FIB level. Of course, no guarantee. So you need to make your own decisions, but if you look at the chart here, how weak Fantom is, of course, short-term upside is always possible. To do that, it would need to move again above that previous low here at $1.14. Yeah, we're currently at $1.10. I think above $1.14 at least, we would see some upside potential. But then again, we will need to get above these previous rejection points that you can see here, where this is above $1.22. So this was actually would be quite important to get a bit of validation for a further potential uptrend, yeah. And then really on a higher scale, bigger picture, you really need to get above 166, 168 actually here. That's a swing high, because if you zoom out, this is the main swing high here that we need to get above to really make a higher high. Until then, there is really significant risk that we still come down lower. And an ideal target really for that current retracement, that current downtrend that we still are in and have been in since January. You could even argue that we have been in this downtrend since October 21, because this is when the downtrend started. Yes, this year was a short-term uptrend, but really it was only a corrective wave in a larger downtrend, as you can see. we haven't made a new all-time high, and we have made lower highs very recently, very lower lows. And even here, compared to the wave A low from December, we are in a downtrend. Yeah. And the thing is that Fantom is quite a volatile cryptocurrency, which is great for trading. But again, then use a stop loss. Yeah, I think. But again, no financial advice. That is what I would be doing. But yeah, dropping below $1.03 would accelerate the downtrend. And I think below $1.03, we could really see that 87-cent level. I think we can, first of all, find some support here at that previous low, which is at 93, 94 cents. But then we're really nearly already there anyway. And the thing is why I say this would be an ideal target, the 78.6% FIB level, is because so far, yes, we've come into the target area, but really we've only come into it a little bit, and we've come below the wave A low, but we haven't really reached the next FIB level, and the next FIB level is here, that 87-cent level, which is so important and so relevant to get there, and that would be an ideal retracement level for Fantom here. That is typically where a lot of cryptocurrencies are going in their wave 2, because on the higher level picture, this here was a wave 1. We're currently in a wave 2. Next wave would be a wave 3. Where should that go? Hard to say yet, but because we don't know where the wave 2 low will be, but we can make some assumptions. So we take the trend-based FIB extension tool, start here at the beginning of that wave 1 to the 370 level roughly, and then we go to the current low, but I don't think the current low is the low, so let's just go to 87 cents. Not sure if I'm bearish enough here, but let's just do it. And the ideal target for a next wave up, the wave 3, but this would be really a wave of a degree like this one, so it can take various months to play out, yeah, and only as soon as the correction is finished, then the target would be 664. Be a nice upside here at least, and that is the minimum target for a wave 3. And if we end below that, it won't be a wave 3. In addition to that, we are below the 200-day moving average, and let's just add the 20-day moving average. We're below the 20-day moving average as well. Let's change that to 50, see where we are here. We're below the 50-day moving average as well, and we had that death cross here on the 9th of March when the 50-day moving average crossed below the 200. That is generally a bearish sign. I don't normally put too much emphasis on it because it's really looking backwards, but it still is something many people look at. And overall here on the daily, looking at the indicators, it's flattening out here, negative momentum still. We don't really decrease that negative momentum anymore. Really sideways movement, still a short signal on the ADX and DI down there. So yeah, I can't really see any major moves here at the moment, and there is still significant risk that we drop down lower. Primary expectation would be 87 cents. Short-term upside possible, but only really if we move above 123. That's my view on Fantom. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.